The consequences from the latest Epstein files have officially begun.
I think it's time to focus on Ghislaine Maxwell because she is currently trying to get out of her 20-year prison sentence.
I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein Files.
There are tens of thousands of videos involving children.
Talking about him having a baby and congratulating him.
Jeffrey Epstein was creating designer babies.
Yo, what's good? We're back with another one.
It's showtime.
We are finally going to close the history books on the Clintons and their lies and schemes and corruption.
I mean, there are more pics with Epstein online than there are of me and my wife. There's a lot of pictures of those two together.
Do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on?
You can't call the FBI because they know too many powerful people. People like you go and fight for the country's values. You risk your life. And yet these elite folks are basically saying, yeah, we can go to an island where no one can touch us. Okay, all the power is in the hands of this few folks. And, I'm struggling to make ends meet for my family. It's the same sense of a rigged America that has led to the kind of anger that we see.
Well, we have all these powerful tech people, powerful Hollywood people, powerful politicians just being kids and getting away with it.
It's sad to say, but I think they're all going to keep getting away with it.
It's been going on for generations, bro.
These are all of the billionaires mentioned in the latest batch of the Epstein Files. First up, Sir Richard Branson. We already knew that Epstein visited Branson's private Caribbean island, but now there's a new questionable exchange following that visit, where Branson says, "It was really nice seeing you yesterday. Anytime you're in the area, would love to see you as long as you bring your harem." Spokesperson for Branson's Virgin Group quickly made a statement saying that when Branson said harem, he was referring to the adult members on Epstein's team. Next, we have Steve Tisch, who owns the Giants, and the new files show that Epstein scouted women for him. Like in one email, Epstein offered to set him up with a Russian, and Steve Tisch replied, "Is she fun?" In another, Epstein offered a woman from Tahiti, and Steve Tisch asked if she's a working girl, to which Epstein said never. Next, we have Peter Thiel, who co-founded Palantir and PayPal, and he appears in this latest batch over 2,000 times. Most of these are setting up business lunches and dinners with Epstein, since Epstein had invested in a couple of Thiel's projects, but we do get to see Thiel's insane confidential dietary restrictions list. Pause here if you want to read it. Epstein collected billionaires like Infinity Stones, so there are a bunch more lower-key billionaires implicated in these files.
They're gonna find more.
They already have, bro.
Bob Kraft, who owns the Patriots, and new records show when he was arrested in 2019 for soliciting prostitution, Epstein coordinated his legal defense and coached him on how to deal with the PR fallout. Next up, we have Les Wexner, who founded Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie & Fitch, and we've known they were buds for a long time. Epstein was even his money manager, but in the new documents, Epstein hints at many shared secrets between the two of them, including saying, "You and I had gang stuff for over 15 years. Next up, the highly requested Leon Black, who actually lost his finance job a few years ago because of his friendship with Epstein, and there are a bunch of disturbing new allegations against him, including that he forced a young woman to perform oral on him while giving him a massage, and that he S.A.'d another victim multiple times and threatened to ruin her life if she told the police. Then we have Gordon Getty of the Getty family, and the latest documents show he was way closer to Epstein than anyone knew, even calling Epstein energetic, bright, and personable. And when Getty found out Epstein was accused of relations with minors, he replied, "Well, we all have similar kinds of problems." Next up is Sergey Brin, who co-founded Google, and we've known for a while he went to Epstein Island because one of Epstein's victims said she met him there. The new records show he corresponded with Ghislaine Maxwell a lot to set up dinners at Epstein's New York house and sent her an ad for a 1950s aircraft carrier for sale saying thought you and Jeffrey might find it amusing. Finally, we have Mort Zuckerman, the editor-in-chief of U.S. News and World Report, and new contracts show he made a $21 million payment to one of Epstein's companies, and Epstein set him up with a woman asking if a 32-year-old Italian architect was too young, smart, and beautiful, and if he'd prefer more standard fare, to which Zuckerman said, "Sign me up ASAP." You guys, we still have so many more billionaires to go through. It's actually insane how many billionaire friends Epstein had.
Yeah, but nothing's gonna happen to him.
Some countries are taking action, bro.
The consequences from the latest Epstein files have officially begun. Lithuania has become the first country following the latest release to officially open an investigation into potential human trafficking. Over in Poland, their Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, has now set up a new task force investigation into new evidence which suggests Epstein may have been linked to Russia's KGB in order to collect compromising information on the elites of the Western world. He said,
"This can only mean that they also possess compromising material against many leaders still active today."
We wish you luck with that one, Donald Tusk. Over in the UK, one of the biggest political scandals in decades is unfolding after police launched a criminal investigation into Lord Mandelson. This is following documents suggesting that not only did he potentially give Epstein sensitive government information in 2009, but also he allegedly received $75,000 from him in 3 separate 25,000 transactions in 2003 and 2004. Lord Mandelson, who also served as US ambassador last year, has now been forced to resign from the Labour Party and the House of Lords. In Slovakia, their national security advisor to the country's prime minister has now also been forced to resign after the files showed that he had a text exchange with Epstein saying that he would take the MI girl, to which Jeffrey responded with, "You can have them both, I'm not possessive," and they're sisters. Over in the United States, Bill and Hillary Clinton have finally agreed to testify on their dealings with Jeffrey Epstein after months of refusing. And to make it even more interesting, their spokesperson said they look forward to setting a precedent that applies to everyone.
It'll be interesting to see what bullshit they come up with.
They're all in on it, bro.
You know what Bill Clinton's saying? He's saying release all the files. He is going insane online, and we know Bill's been to Epstein Island many times. He's in a lot of the photos, and not only him, but him and his wife Hillary have been seen there together, allegedly. So what has Bill said? This is what he said. "I have called for the full release of the Epstein files. Full release! I have provided a sworn statement of what I know, and just this week, I've agreed to appear in person before the committee, but it's still not enough for the Republicans on the House Oversight Committee." Then he says, "Now Chairman Comer says he wants cameras, but only behind closed doors. Sus. Who benefits from this arrangement? It's not Epstein's victims who deserves justice, not the public who deserves truth. It's not fact-finding, it's pure politics." Lastly, he goes, "I will not sit idly as they use me as a prop in a closed-door kangaroo court by a Republican Party running scared. If they want answers, let's stop the games and do this the right way, in a public hearing where the American people can see for themselves what this is really about." I'm like, Bill, you're in so many photos. Now I'm extremely curious what all of this is about.
They're all just gonna cover for their friends.
Yeah, bro. Ghislaine's trying to make a deal.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Ms. Maxwell, did you at any time play any role in Jeffrey Epstein's activities involving the recruitment, grooming, or trafficking of young women or girls?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
And the government promised immunity and then broke that promise. If this committee and the American public truly want to hear the unfiltered truth about what happened, there is a straightforward path. Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump.
It is very clear that she used this opportunity to not only campaign for clemency as she has been doing, but also to send a direct message that she is hoping that people who were sitting in the deposition will transmit to the President of the United States, which is that her silence can be bought through clemency.
What a fucking joke.
Yeah, bro, she's already got it easy.
Everyone has been asking us, okay, all of these Epstein files are out, what now? Like, what was the point of all of this? And I think it's time to focus on Ghislaine Maxwell because she is currently trying to get out of her 20-year prison sentence. And this new Epstein file drop implicates Ghislaine more than ever. It's just clear that she was the lifeline of this trafficking operation. She recruited girls, she managed Epstein's twisted parties, she even tried to find him girls to impregnate. And now she's locked up in this cushy prison that the Washington Post says is like a country club. There are so many recreational amenities here. There's an athletic field, a library, vocational training programs, access to service dogs. The highest profile inmates here are Elizabeth Holmes and Jennifer Shaw from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And I would say Ghislaine's crimes are a lot worse than wire fraud. A former warden said that Ghislaine is getting more special treatment than anyone who's currently in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, but still she's finding reasons to complain. I found this email from her lawyers to prison staff in the files. It says issues still remain concerning Miss Maxwell's meals. She still is not receiving items on the menu. Yesterday, she received the same meal for lunch and dinner. Like, you trafficked girls for decades, you can eat the same meal twice. And now we know that she's trying to walk away from all of her crimes hands clean because she filed a petition last month claiming that 25 of Epstein's friends reached secret settlements with the Department of Justice years ago. And what's crazy is that she filed this petition to get her conviction overturned, basically saying if these other co-conspirators are off the hook, why am I still in jail? So I really think we need to focus on her, make sure that she is paying for the crimes that she committed, as well as those co-conspirators. We know that when society really pushes for something, change can happen. These Epstein files were released because of that, even though the government tried to make it all go away. So even though Epstein got away with all of his crimes, we need to make sure that history does not repeat itself with Ghislaine.
They need to let people see the unredacted files.
It's happening, bro.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday, Congressman Massey and I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. We spent about 2 hours there, and we learned that 70 to 80% of the files are still redacted. In fact, there were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. When Congressman Massey and I pointed this out to the Department of Justice, they acknowledged their mistake, and now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI. Now, my question is, why did it take Thomas Massey and me going to the Justice Department to get these 6 men's identities to become public? And if we found 6 men that they were hiding in 2 hours, imagine how many men they are covering up for in those 3 million files. But the story gets worse. The reality is that Donald Trump's FBI scrubbed these files in March.
The way this is being handled is insane. There's clearly more than 6 people involved.
Yeah, bro, there's hundreds of them in the cult.
Pam Bondi was caught on video saying that there are tens of thousands of videos involving children connected to the Epstein case. That means even after knowing about the videos and maybe even seeing some of them, she told the public there was no client list. Take a look at this.
No, you know what it is? There are tens of thousands of videos. Yeah, and it's all with little kids, so they have to go through every one.
That footage was taken by James O'Keefe, who is notorious for going undercover and doing interviews like this one where the people he's recording don't know they're being recorded. But there's a major problem with what Pam Bondi said in that clip. Either there are tens of thousands of videos involving children, or there's no evidence of a client list. Both things can't be true at once. And remember, Kash Patel, the FBI director, publicly told us there was no evidence that Epstein trafficked anybody at all. But if there are tens of thousands of videos, that means there is a ton of evidence, in the Trump administration's possession, by the way, that they're actively trying to cover up. This is what institutional protection looks like. Not innocence, not lack of evidence, protection. When powerful people are involved, accountability seems to stop.
I'm telling you, bro, it's a cult.
I don't know about that, Ted. But everyone involved's a fucking wrong'un.
So a New York Magazine article came out today about how Jeffrey Epstein allegedly helped Woody Allen and his wife/daughter's daughter graduate high school by donating to the school. And none of that is surprising to me because, like, obviously Jeffrey Epstein was doing whatever he felt like. But what really shocked me was how many people in the comments didn't know the history behind Woody Allen and his daughter/wife. So before Mia Farrow was ever with Woody Allen, she was with Andre Previn, and they adopted a daughter named Soon-Yi. Then once Mia and Woody became an item, Woody became like an unofficial stepdad to Soon-Yi. So I'll say this right away. No, Soon-Yi is not a blood relative of Woody, and she's not even officially his stepdaughter because Mia and Woody were never married. But none of that even really matters because when Woody met Soon-Yi, it was in the context of his girlfriend saying, "This is my kid." Later, when Soon-Yi was 21, Mia found explicit photos that Woody had taken of her, and obviously that did not go over well. Things between Woody and Mia fall apart over that, and fast forward a few years, and Soon-Yi and Woody end up getting married when she is 27, he was 62, and Woody and Soon-Yi have been together ever since. They have 2 adopted daughters together. But what I am really concerned about is what is going on with their adopted daughters, because the first one was the one who couldn't graduate high school, and then the next one had another donation from Jeffrey Epstein to help get her into Bard. So I think that these girls may need to hit the books.
How the fuck are they getting away with this shit?
They're monsters, bro.
Order because you will not let me kill you. You have to. Wait, you're on that level. What you've done to Sudi, what you've done to Dylan. What you've done to Dylan, who was a baby. How could you do that to her? I don't know anything of the kind. I know what Dylan tells me. You have taught me nothing but lies. Dylan tells the truth inconsistently. No, I don't know that, Woody. I've always worked and worried about you and Dylan. And I just know the doctor had to report this to the authorities. I didn't know that. I went just to be sure she was all right. And she's not all right, Woody. She walks around the house holding her and she sleeps with me. And she's scared of you. And you hurt her. And I feel pretty guilty myself that I wasn't there to protect her. You said, Mom, you didn't help me. She said you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have hurt me like that. If you hurt me, you would weep inside. You would just want to be dead. Because I don't know how you can live with what you did.
That's fucking horrendous.
I'm telling you, bro. They're all in it together.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor told Jeffrey Epstein he wanted to be his pet in creepy emails newly revealed in the latest Epstein document drop. The message, simply signed with the initial A, reads, "God, it's cold and dank here. Wish I was still a pet in your family." It's just one of several disturbing disclosures, including a photo of Andrew crouching over a woman on the floor, and allegations from another woman who says Epstein flew her to Britain to spend the night with the former prince. Royal sources say King Charles wasn't aware of these specific bombshell documents before they were released.
Of course he fucking was.
Yeah, bro. They're still trying to protect Andrew.
We have an email from Jeffrey Epstein himself saying, yes, Virginia Giuffre was on my plane, and yes, she had a picture taken with Andrew. I just think people are going to come to the conclusion that
is everyone believing Jeffrey Epstein now?
That you've provided no evidence to the contrary.
Just tell me, is everybody believing Jeffrey Epstein as a Bible verse now?
I think people are believing Virginia Giuffre.
Really? What, because she's dead?
Not because she's dead, because it is overwhelmingly likely the case that this is a real photo. He really was there. He really did have her arm around her waist. And he's not being honest.
I think what I would love you to do another time is to try and recreate that photo and see what the arm does, because I can't show it because it's very private, but Andrew recreated that pose, and the arm, it's
what
impossible.
What do you mean he recreated that pose?
Standing like that with somebody else, and
he did a mock-up of it.
Yeah.
Where?
And the hand, it doesn't work. No one's seen it. This is a private thing. But it's impossible. Like, you would have to have Inspector Gadget arms to
put your arm around the waist of a...
But look how it is. Do we have a photo
young
of it?
woman?
The way he's standing. It's impossible, Tom.
One absolute piece of shit.
I'm telling you, bro, the royals were involved before Epstein.
Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only.
If you just look at what Sarah Ferguson was emailing Jeffrey Epstein, just to give a little flavour, it's things like, "Thank you, Jeffrey, for being the brother I've always wished for. You are a legend. I really don't have the words to describe my love, gratitude for your generosity and kindness. I am at your service. Just marry me." Some of the new stuff emerging today has been, though, about where the cracks began to show in 2011 in her relationship with Epstein, where she writes this slightly strange message to him, which we hadn't been aware of, talking about him having a baby and congratulating him, where she says, "Congratulations on you having a baby. I didn't even know you were having a baby, but it's so crystal clear to me that you were only friends with me to get to Andrew, and that really hurt me deeply, more than you will know." So, I mean, you can see the sort of gushing, fawning nature of her messages to him. There's also some really uncomfortable stuff where she sort of jokes about her daughter's life, usually life in the messages to him. She asks him for money, for rent. So it's quite brazen in its approach. But what also struck me in reading all the exchanges between Epstein and Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor and Sarah Ferguson is that Epstein has the power. He is the power player here. They are offering things, do you want to come to Buckingham Palace? What about Windsor Castle? And he just says, yeah, gives them a date and a time and goes for it. He is the one in charge of this relationship.
Where's this baby now?
It was more than one, bro.
In the Epstein Files, it literally shows emails that Jeffrey Epstein was creating designer babies. I really want to know why we haven't heard the DOJ talk about this, especially since some of the survivors said that this happened to them in Jeffrey Epstein's New Mexico property, Zorro Ranch. How I found out that he was working with another person to create these designer babies is because I saw him ordering a lot of 23andMe kits, and he was sending them to a lot of different people as gifts. In this email, he was sending some to Woody Allen and his adopted daughter at one point in time, who is now his wife. And I started to see a lot of emails in the Epstein Files of people saying that they were pregnant to Jeffrey Epstein, or even alluding that he had actual children. This email in 2006 from Glenn Dubin to Jeffrey Epstein: "I get pictures of you flying over Mount Fiji, and I have to find out from Benghazi that you have twin babies. Eva and I are so excited for you. Please send pictures ASAP." And Glenn Dubin says, "Test tube babies, just thinking." Started looking up the term babies in the Epstein Files, and this is when I came across this. It was titled "Designer Babies" in August of 2018, and he has it on like an agenda. Then I found this email, and it's from Brian Bishop to Jeffrey Epstein, and it's "Designer Babies / Brian Bishop." So I looked up who Brian Bishop was, because I was like, why are they saying designer babies? And it says, Brian Bishop is a software engineer and a biohacker who gained attention for his attempts to fund and advance a do-it-yourself, or DIY, designer baby project using Bitcoin.
They were eating them, bro.
We need to excavate that fucking island.
Here we have what seems to be another reference to cannibalism in the Epstein Files. So the man in that video was Sultan bin Sulayem. He's a very powerful individual from Saudi Arabia, a businessman, a very, very wealthy, elite individual. So as you can see right here, Epstein writes, "Does Ambani want fish?" February 20th, 2017. Then later that day, Sultan bin Sulayem, he writes, "He is a vegetarian, no flesh of any kind," smiley face. But then Epstein responds to Sultan bin Sulayem after saying no flesh of any kind. Okay, even Irish? So what does that mean in this context? There are a couple different interpretations there. One, obviously, if you want to go with the more extreme version, they're talking about eating somebody. He doesn't want flesh of any kind. Epstein is surprised. Even Irish flesh? You don't want to eat an Irish woman? But there's also the trafficking angle, which, I'm more inclined to believe would be the explanation here. Saying, there's Irish flesh. I don't really know. I mean, it's really confusing, but clearly it could also just be a joke, obviously, which I think it might have been, but you still just never know. Because even if this message seemed to be more of a joke, something off the cuff, there are tons of videos and photographs within the files that are definitely not jokes, that do contain extremely alarming photos and videos and testimonies.
We don't know if they're actually eating people.
Trust me, bro. They're all coded messages.
So there are hundreds of emails in the Epstein files with coded terms like pizza, grape soda, shrimp, and hot dogs that people think might refer to sex and trafficking. The New York Times published this post from an online message board that just shows what these words usually mean. So it says hot dog equals boy, pizza equals girl, cheese equals little girl. And that makes sense because we know that cheese pizza notoriously means this, because CP. And in the Epstein files, there are over 900 references to pizza, and actually 60 of those documents have been removed. And these are what some of the emails look like. Subject alert, send pizza to Bobby, Feeney asking about pizza party this weekend. And a lot of the emails that reference pizza also mention grape soda. Have no idea what that means, but we have, what time do you want to get pizza and grape soda tomorrow? Let's go for pizza and grape soda again. No one else can understand. We're also seeing a lot of references to shrimp, which we just can't decode, but these emails are pretty weird. Call blank, she will give you massage and she looks better than shrimp anyway and good with massages. And then meeting Blake tomorrow, shrimp. This one is insane. I like shrimp, but not so much if it's too pink, although I'm definitely more into white than into any other color. And then the attachment title for this, shrimp and cream sauce JPEG twins. There are also lots of confusing references to cream cheese, and remember cheese means little girl, so maybe that's related. The subject is cream cheese baby, and the email says, LOL, I don't know if cream cheese and baby are on the same level. To which Epstein responds, there are millions of babies, very little good vegetable cream cheese. And obviously we're just trying to make sense of this situation. We can't for sure say that these words mean this, but I did see this old FBI post circulating on social media that confirms what we're saying, code words and terminology used by to identify sexual preferences.
These files are going to be studied for years.
Yeah, bro, and Epstein's still out there.
Epstein is rumored to still be alive, was spotted in Israel, and got caught playing Fortnite. These pics went around showing what looks like an older, scruffy Jeffrey Epstein walking around in Tel Aviv. It does look a lot like him, remove the beard and even more so, and even AI seems to agree it's the same person. Then it came out that it was all AI and these pics are fake. You can even see the Gemini logo in the corner and gibberish in the background. Digging deeper, it seems like only these expanded photos are AI, potentially made to discredit the original. Pop the original zoomed photo into any AI detector and it tells you it's real, but who knows which one came first. Reminder, the photos from his autopsy didn't look like him at all and had a completely different nose. Then people found his alleged Fortnite account, Littlest Jeff 1, was active after his death, including multiple times last year out of Israel. The Epstein files show that he did have an email with the same name as this Fortnite account, as well as another email exchange explicitly talking about purchasing V-Bucks on Fortnite, and also receipts for a YouTube account of the exact same name, Littlest Jeff 1, all in the official files, and that he did use the same name to play video games. Not to mention, Fortnite is mentioned multiple times throughout the files. Unrelated, but he also got banned from Xbox Live in 2013 for severe harassment, so we know he was a gamer. The original account was also caught playing Rocket League a few days ago, and people are finding the same username linked to other games under Epstein's official email, like this one called War Thunder. After all this went viral, the original Fortnite account went private and somehow even became unsearchable in the internet Wayback Machine, as people are claiming.
Well, I think he was dumb enough to log into his Fortnite account. He definitely weren't dumb enough to walk through Tel Aviv.
Trust me, bro, he's still out there.
So Fortnite actually responded and got community noted. There's this rumor that JE was spotted in Israel and then his Fortnite account was seen active multiple times last year, also out of Israel. It's an account of the same name as one of his emails in the official files, as well as JE's official YouTube account, also in the files. And everyone thinks JE is still alive playing Fortnite out of Israel. A pretty wild claim, I gotta say, but then Fortnite actually responded, saying that it was all a ruse and it was just another player that changed his name to the same one that JE had in the files as a troll or whatever. But then their response got community noted, saying that their explanation doesn't make any sense. That if you look at any other player who has changed their name, you can see their old name in their player history, just like you can see with this account right here, not related to the actual JE one. But if you look at the official JE account history, Littlest Jeff 1, which I'm realizing is actually Little Saint Jeff 1, like his island, you can see that his name has always been the same, meaning Fortnite straight up lied, like they're covering something up. So either JE is still alive and ripping Fortnite for whatever reason, or someone hacked his account out of Israel. Let's pause right there before this video gets taken down. Oh, and then the community note got deleted. I guess the overlords didn't like that one.
Ted, I think that's bullshit.
Trust me, bro, he's still out there. But we'll have to save that for next time.
Hold up, Ted, we've got to do the giveaway.
Leave a comment for a chance to win in our next episode. Let's do this, bro.
Bye-bye.
Blah, blah.
Contact us on our website to claim your prize.
New merch will be ready by the end of the month, bro.
We've had a few setbacks along the way, but it's going to be worth the wait.
Follow us on Instagram for live updates, bro.
And as always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.